Okay, so I just have no idea what this ball screen defense is. Look at this right here. I mean, are you icing? Then Reed needs to get underneath. Are you hedging? Then Reed needs to get up. Are you jamming the screener and going under? Then Reed needs to do a much better job of jamming the screener, and Jared needs to go under. Okay, but this is just no ball screen defense whatsoever. So when the screen happens, this player just gets right to the lane, and he's going to eventually have an open jumper from that. Okay, so this isn't terrible execution. You run an empty side ball screen right here. Okay, but if Cody, look at this. Cody going to stop his dribble right now. If he takes two more dribbles this way, okay, now you see Indiana Tech switching this, but you can see they're not comfortable with this switch. But this big isn't going to leave until Cody stops his dribble like this, okay? So if you're Cody, you have got to take at least one, maybe even two solid dribbles this way. Now this big has to stay with you this way, and now we can hammer this mismatch down low. But look what happens here. Cody stops dribbling now, so now Indiana Tech is going to switch back here. Okay, you still get an open look out of it, but if Cody attacks with one more dribble, now we can take advantage of that mismatch with Jason G on a guard down low. Okay, cross screen. You don't show on a cross screen here. Look at this. Cross screening set, Reed. Get attached and jam this man as he comes through. You don't show, because look what happens. Look at Reed's going to show here, and now his man that set the screen is just going to now go to immediately to the three-point line, okay? And Reed, because he's all the way down here showing, look, now you just let him get open for three. You got to jam him coming through, stay attached, and now that doesn't happen. So look at how much easier this pass is of Cody. Look at this. Cody, 2-3 solid dribbles down here. This pass becomes so much easier. Look, instead of picking up your dribble now so you're trapped, look, one more solid dribble this way to keep this big off balance, then this pass through is a lot easier. Because look, this little delay on this pass allows the backside, allows Indiana Tech to X out. But, you know, again, we can still get something easy out of this right here. Once this pass to Jason G happens, look at this. Jason G just got to catch, and Reed is wide open. It's catch, right to Reed. You know he's wide open. You should not even be thinking sort of that you can maybe score here. Catch to Reed right here. Okay, but it takes time. It takes time. Now you allow the backside defenders to get back. Okay, now you got to reset the offense. But it really started when Cody didn't attack hard off that big's hip and to make that pass easier so he didn't have to delay and make it. Okay, this is a good ball screen right here. Now, it's not an empty side ball screen, so we want to hit the lift here. So let's look at our options. You force this backside defender to have to come down on Jason G. Elwood on this lift is open. Now it's going to end up with a catch-and-shoot three for Elwood, but let's just take a look at the options we have right here. We want Jason G right, seal him off right here, okay, and see if we can't get something easy down low if this three isn't available. But again, you force that backside defender, so now Elwood's lift's open, 3 points. Okay, so over help here. Jared's going to do a great job of being in the gaps defensively right here, right? Stunt, recover, okay? But right now, Cody, what is Cody doing? Okay, like right now this dribble's picked up. Elwood is doing just fine, is with him one-on-one, okay? Right here, though, like if you're Cody, you cannot be helping all the way over here, all right? He should be right at about the block there, okay? You're in position to kind of jab at it a little bit, okay? If you need to, again, Elwood's doing a pretty good job guarding one-on-one. Jared did his job. But look at Cody's going to come all the way over and help here. Why? Again, his back should be towards the baseline, and he should be right at around this block area. His man's right here. Okay, but when you come all the way over here and help, by the way, with his dribble already picked up, now, I mean, you're clearly just going to be leaving the three-point line wide open, and that's what happens. Two glued to the three-point line here in the post, okay? Ball's right here in the post with Indiana Tech. Watch Reed right here. Reed, you can't be this glued to the three-point line. The ball's in the post. Again, where should Reed be? About the nail right there, right? So now he can just jab, recover, right? Stunt, recover. But the ball's in the post. Everyone's got to drop halfway. Reed, you cannot be glued to the three-point line. Now you leave this player for Indiana Tech ability to go one-on-one and keep his dribble alive. You don't dig in the post at all. And so now, look, it's just going to end up being a little short shot right there. So two problems on this play. Indiana Tech runs a ball screen right here. Now, what's the ball screen defense? Looks like you're trying to ice this, right? I mean, that seems to be the defensive game plan against ball screens right here. Well, Jason G, again, you cannot allow this guard to turn the corner here. You've got to get underneath, and you've got to shut off the baseline right here. But look at Jason G. He lets him turn the corner. Okay, so that's problem number one. Problem number two is I don't know what Reed's doing right here. Reed's in no man's land, okay? Like, you're not really helping on the ball here. Your man is over here. Like, if I'm Reed, you should be, coming outside the block right here. I mean, I don't really know what he's doing. So it's going to end up being a catch-and-shoot three because of that. But I blame Jason G there that he allowed that guard to turn the corner when he should have been downing that ball screen. So right here, look again. It looks like if you're icing this ball screen right here, what is Reed doing? You got to get underneath here. If you're not icing this ball screen, then Elwood's cheating the screen, and this player is going to refuse. You give the player the option to refuse the screen, right, and get into the lane. So, but it looks like you should have been It looks like Reed should be icing this ball screen. Reed should be getting underneath this guard right here. But look what happens. Reed doesn't move, so now this guard has a lane right to the rim right here. Okay, and what does that do? Now that forces Jason G now to have to go help at the rim. And so when Jason G leaves to contest, look, there's nobody to box out any of Indiana Tech's bigs. And so now it's just going to be a tap. And now the ball comes free. Your defense is scrambling because everyone was going after the offensive rebound, and it leads to an open three. But really, all that scrambling doesn't happen if right here this ball screen gets set and Reed does what he's supposed to do, which is get underneath, ice the ball screen so that this guard doesn't have a lane. But again, Reed doesn't do that, so now this guard has a lane right to the rim. Jason G has to contest, and with no one to box out here, okay, Indiana Tech's just going to keep getting the ball, and then your defense is out of position because of it, and it leads to a wide-open three-pointer. Okay, so Jason G's got to roll much tighter to the ball. Jalen does an amazing job attacking up this big's hip. This is exactly how it should look for the guard coming off this ball screen. But look at Jason G. Why is he rolling so wide? Look at this. You're just rolling right into this backside defender right here. Come off this ball screen and roll tight to the ball. Downhill this way. So when Jalen turns the corner, instead of you being basically parallel to the foul line, you're right here. Now that backside defender can't get you. Now look, this is a guard. You'll probably be able to just catch and power up over him. But, again, if this backside defender steps up, what we have. Spencer on a cut here, or Spencer occupies this defender. So Elwood is wide open. Now, the second thing that is wrong about this is look what Spencer does. Okay, Spencer's man is now in backside help right here on Jason G. Spencer can't stand. Look at the difference here if Spencer now starts to cut and dives to this open space. Look at the difference of where he catches this ball. Look at, he's catching this ball all the way at the three-point line. If he dives to this open space right here, look, he's catching this ball right here. So now when you catch this, you're going to be able to just get it and go right up. Your man's not going to be able to get over there in time, or you draw a foul. But because he stood at the three-point line, now you let this defender rotate back out to you, and now we have to reset our offense altogether. So Jalen's got to know where his man is right here, okay, in his zone, all right? The man's at the foul line. You're defending the foul line. That's great. But once this player comes out this way to the top of the key, you got to go with him, okay? Your responsibility is no longer the middle of the zone. Your responsibility is the top of the key. If this big flashes to the middle, then Jason G's can step out. But again, Jalen is staying in the middle of the zone right here, guarding air, while this man comes out to the top of the key. So now you give up a catch and shoot three because you're just guarding air. So this is pretty good execution right here. You run this ball screen. The one thing I would quibble about is, look, you force him to hedge, okay, and the ball gets swung to the corner here. Now this ends up being a layup, but you get fortunate here. Right here, Jason G's got to see that a backside defender's coming. As he's looking downhill right here, he's got to see a backside defender's coming, and you really want to make sure you can seal off this player right here. Okay, get into his jersey. You don't want to be just standing here with air, because you want to make sure that this player can't get on your inside hip. You got to assume on that roll a backside defender's coming from somewhere, and you want to seal off this backside defender, especially because you ran this ball screen from the top of the key and didn't empty out the strong side of the floor. So right here, if you're Jason G, go find this backside defender and seal him off, okay? Because if that defender had left 0.5 of a second earlier, this is a steal. But again, good execution, you wind up with a layup. Great execution here. You run this ball screen. Indiana Tech hedges. Jalen does a great job of attacking off this big's hip. Okay, it's the third time he's done a great job of that, and that drags that big away. Okay, and look what happens. You force this backside defender, so the lift is going to be wide open. Now, again, the one thing I quibble about here is Jason G's got to do a better job. Get into this player's jersey so you're sealing him off in the charge circle. Okay, because if Spencer wants to go down low to you, you got to catch that ball as low as possible. He doesn't really seal off his man. But, you know, the ball screen drew that backside defender, and that lift's just wide open for an open jumper. Again, great execution. Spencer does a pretty good job here, okay? You're pulling your dribble back already. You can't do that. You should just be just like Jalen's been doing, right? Come off the ball screen and bang, you're immediately attacking off this big's hip. But the big for Indiana Tech luckily doesn't retreat back after Spencer kind of pulled his dribble back like that. So now Jason G's wide open. The backside help is way late. But again, the only thing I would quibble about here is instead of Jason G having to power up through a defender, why can't Matt cut? So now we're just dropping it to him for a wide open layup. Instead, Jason G's got to score over this backside defender, and it ends up being a two-shot foul. Now you got to make 2 free throws to get those 2 points back. Spencer's technique is not right here in transition. Okay? Look at this right here. Jalen's guarding the ball. Spencer's guarding this player right here. Spencer should not, in transition, you want to sprint back and get beneath the three-point line. It doesn't matter where your man is, okay? You've got to be just back beneath the three-point line. If your man is this way, coming this way, great. Get back, sprint to get back beneath the three-point line right here. Because look what Spencer's doing. First of all, he's got his back to the ball, which should never happen right here. But look where Spencer's out beyond the three-point line. Spencer should have been hustling back to get to right here. So again, now he's in the gaps defensively, right? Stunt, recover back out. But look at Spencer. He's got his back turned to the ball. He's out past the three-point line. He's not getting back beneath the three-point line. So now there's no one in the gaps defensively, and now you allow this player to just get right to the lane for 2. It's a great job by Cody here. Look at this. Post digs, right? Look at how Cody's immediately halfway. Ball's in the post. Where's Cody? Halfway between the ball and his man. And as soon as he puts this ball on the deck here, look at this. Bang. Now we're digging in the post. Look what ends up happening. We get a steal, okay? And so you stop that post-up action. So Reed's taking his eye off the ball. Now, of course, this is on Cody right here. He should not be getting blown by like this. Okay, but look at Reed. Let's just zoom in on Reed here. All right, we'll watch his eyes here. Look how he's not seeing the ball. Look at this. If Reed's seeing the ball, he would know that I need to go help at the rim right here. Okay, and then we'd want Spencer to come down and help the helper so that drop-off pass isn't there. But Reed isn't looking at the basketball. He has no idea what's going on. If he's seeing the ball, he'll know I need to go help at the rim here. Okay? And now this layup doesn't happen, but Reed isn't looking at the ball at all, so it just leads to a layup. Obviously, Cody shouldn't have gotten blown by like that, but that's on Reed, too, that it wasn't there to help at the rim. Okay, so not in the gaps defensively here. Okay, ball's in the corner. This is off of a scramble situation right here. But look at right here, I mean, maybe a little too close, but you have the right idea. But look at this. He hasn't put the ball on the floor yet. And you can't, look at how you're hugging the three-point line. Your man here is 3 to 4 steps beyond the three-point line. Wonderful. Let's be in the gaps here. Okay, so we can stunt, get this dribble picked up right now. Stunt and recover. You cannot be forcing Reed here to have to go help at the rim. Okay, because this drop-off pass is going to be way too easy. See, if we were in the gaps we were supposed to be, which is right now, okay, now this dribble gets picked up, and now Reed doesn't have to go help. But now look, now Reed has to go help at the rim, so there's, you're not going to be able to help the helper in this little amount of time. So now this drop-off pass is wide open, and it leads to a 2-shot foul. Okay, so Indiana Tech runs a stagger right here, and Jalen does nothing about this. Look at this. I mean, this is the second down screen coming on. Jalen, you got to get attached. You got to show. You can't let this player for Indiana Tech curl coming off this, right? But Jalen doesn't show. So look, now this player's just going to curl right off this. If Jalen's attached and he's showing, now this player has to go out, and now Matt should be able to get on the other side of that, and he'll be fine. But really the issue here is that because you allowed him to curl like this, and you didn't show and force him to have to go out. Now, because he's allowed to curl, now they're allowed to get into a fake DHO right here. So again, right here, what should probably be happening? I mean, this whole situation this is not how this should look right here, because this is because Jalen didn't show. But if this is what's happening here, Cody, again, this is dribble handoff defense. Cody, you're not switching here, okay? You're just half step back, let Matt come through. Okay, now Matt can't be trying to go over the top here, but Cody also needs to, take a half step and let him through. But look what happens. Cody's going to try and switch this, okay, and now we got two players going towards one and no one taking the ball, and it's going to lead to a layup. But that whole thing could have been prevented if Jalen just shows off that stagger. Okay, so Spencer can't be... Look, what is Spencer doing? You can't be cutting here while we're trying to run a ball screen. You're screwing up the spacing. But still, things end up working out. Look at Cody. Does a great job attacking downhill. What does that do? That drags this big, and that opens Reed's roll. Okay, we've emptied out this side of the floor, so you know that roll is going to be there. So right here, though, again, now Reed ends up getting fouled here, but this is just an automatic 2 points if Reed just catches, understands this is a backside defender, and understands Spencer is wide open. So we're just dropping this for an easy 2. Okay? So, again, you get fouled here. It's a 2-shot foul, which is great. But this is an automatic 2 if Reed just understands, look, this backside defender is coming from the weak side of the floor, so I should just be catching, finding Spencer, and it's a layup. But, again, the execution is good with spacing and Cody dragging the big, so we do get to the foul line here, which is good. So this is a tough shot from Cody. Now, again, the spacing, if Elwood can just get to the weak side of the floor here, Jason G's wide open here. Right, but right here, Cody's got to understand. Now, Indiana Tech's in drop coverage. They drop the big. They fight over the top. So Cody's got to understand that as long as he's attacking like this, you're getting the big to commit towards the ball. Now you force this backside defender to have to make a decision. Does he step up on Jason G and allow this lift to be open, or does he go with the lift and let Jason G be wide open? So instead of Cody trying to attack and make a mid-range jumper here, why don't you attack? Why can't we attack here? Keep your dribble alive and just immediately look towards Jason G's roll. Either Jason G's wide open and that's where we want to go, or Jason G is being met with a backside defender and the lift is there. But instead, Cody's going to take a mid-range jumper here and miss and not get anything. So you just can't miss Reed here. Look at Elwood right here. He's coming off this ball screen. To be nice if he could do a little bit better job attacking off this big's hip. Okay, and then maybe he can make this pass to Reed. Okay, and we can create that numbers advantage here. But look, I mean, right now, you hit Cody here. How is this? Reed should be screaming for the ball, and Cody's got to hit him. I mean, this is 2 points if we hit Reed. But we never hit Reed. Instead, we throw it to the three-point line, and now it's a contested 3 from Jared. You miss it, you don't get anything. This is the scary part about pressing right here. Now, you trap along the sideline here, but this pass is so easy to make because no one's rotating over here. I mean, if you trap and you leave someone wide open one pass away, I mean, now look. Now it's just way too easy, and now Indiana Tech's got numbers going this way. But the other scary thing with pressing is now your defense is scrambling. Now, I don't really understand where Jared's going here. I mean, right here, Jared should just be getting to his area in the 2-3 zone. You can see because he goes all the way down there for no reason. So now he's got to sprint to get back out, and he's just going to get beat on a rip-and-go drive. Now, but the other thing is also Jalen. Okay, the ball gets swung here. Jalen, you got to be in the gaps, right? Look how he's going toward. Look at how he's lazily getting over, and he's also hugging the three-point line here. Look at his technique. If once this ball gets swung here, bang, Jalen's immediately sprinting over towards the nail, right, with his back to the baseline. There's no driving lane here. But Jalen's late to get into the gaps defensively, so now this player here is able to get right into the lane, and it's going to lead to a layup. So in this 2-3 zone, this is why you can't have two people doing one thing in this zone here. Okay, Jalen, this man here comes into the corner. Now, this is Matt's man now. So, Jalen, you got to slide over here when this pass gets made. Look at this right now. Okay, right now, Jalen needs to be bumping Jared over here. Elwood certainly cannot be leaving this man on the block here. right? Elwood's got to stay there. So Jalen, you've got to move Jared over to this player here so Elwood can stay here. Okay, but look what Elwood does. The ball gets thrown in the post, and again, we've got Jared defending this player as opposed to Jalen moving Jared over here. So now look, now Elwood's going to go leave to guard this man right here. And now look, now there's no one to guard on the block here. Again, where's Matt going? Matt should be over here. Again, boom, boom, boom. But Elwood leaves. So now look, now when the shot gets missed, there's absolutely no one to box him out. It's just an easy putback. So this is textbook right here. Jason G's got to know he's a playmaker here. Right here, you're not trying to score. You know this backside defender is coming from the weak side of the floor. So do not try and score. It's one dribble, okay, to just make sure this backside defender has to step up all the way, but you're not barreling through here. It's just ball on the floor, okay, keep your head up, and now Jalen's got to cut. Why is Jalen still standing at the three-point line? Again, you see your man's coming in backside help. Right now, Jalen should be already starting to go. Cut. Go. Okay? And you know what happens. Either we're dropping this to you for an easy 2, or you occupy this defender and Jared's open. Okay? There's 0.0 reason to be just standing at the three-point line because now you let this Indiana Tech defender defend 2 different people. But again, Jason G's looking to score here. You can't look to score. It should just be catch. You don't even have to put the ball on the floor. It should just be, this backside defender is coming all the way anyways. Just catch and look to the weak side of the floor. And we should have a cutter coming right here who should be wide open. And if he's not, then we have someone at the three-point line wide open. But Jason G looks to score, and you get called for a charge. So this is just a bad route Cody takes in this 2-3 zone. You throw the ball to the wing right here. Okay, Jared's coming over here to bump Cody down, but Cody's got to know there's got to be some communication or something that there's a man standing in the corner right there. Look where Cody's going to. Cody's going towards the block right here. Look where he's headed right here on this. He's going inward when you got a man right here in the corner. When Jared bumps him down, someone's got to tell Cody. Cody needs to know that he needs to get out to the three-point line. Look, when Jared comes over here, Cody should be immediately getting down to the corner when Jared bumps him over. But look where Cody goes. Cody's going inward towards the paint, and, there's someone in the corner there, so it's, wide open. So this is in the 2-3 zone. Again, you get beat back door here. Jared's got to understand right now, okay, you're beat. All right, Jason just stepped up to take his man. Cody's going to help the helper so the paint isn't vacated right now. Jared's got to get out so that Elwood can go to his area of the zone. I mean, again, you got beat back door, unfortunate, but Jason steps up to take your man now and help you out. Cody helps the helper. So, Jared, you got to get out so Elwood can go to his area of the zone. Okay, Elwood's going over to guard Jared's area of the zone, so that means Elwood's area of the zone is going to be left wide open. And you can see Jared goes towards the ball, doesn't push Elwood back to his area of the zone, so now Elwood's area of the zone is left wide open, and it's 3 points. So the spacing's bad for this ball screen. Okay, Jason, once you see this ball screen happen, get to the weak side of the floor. But also, Elwood, why are you picking up your dribble already? Look at this. You've already lost your dribble. Again, come off this ball screen hard. Okay? Right now, you're just attacking off this big's hip. Drag this big. Reed's roll will be there if the spacing is good. Okay, which it's not. Jason G's got to get to the weak side of the floor. But again, the guards are picking up their dribble. Elwood's picking up his dribble too early here. Again, as soon as you come off this ball screen, just off this big's hip. Even if you have to go out that way, whatever, this big has to stay with you. So now Reed's roll is going to be open. But once you pick up your dribble, look, now you let the defense reset, and now we don't have that numbers edge. And now it's just a late clock situation, and you're just in isolation mode, and you end up with nothing on this. Elwood has poor technique here. Look at this right here. Why is his back to the ball? Your back should never be to the ball. Right now his back should be totally to the baseline, and he should be a half step in. So again, this player can come, you stunt, you recover. When you have your back to the sideline, okay, and your back to the ball, you're not going to be able to dig in the post, you're not in the gaps at all, and you can see, again, now you allow this player for Indiana Tech to just go one-on-one with Cody here and back him down without any resistance and forcing him to pick up his dribble early. So now he's able to just get right on the block, and it's an easy layup. So you run this ball screen. Now, Jason G's role is going to be tough to get him open here because you've got a defender right here in the backside. But why is Jared picking up his dribble? Jared has the ability to get into the lane. Get into the lane, okay? Because now you force this defender to step up, and Reed's going to be wide open in this dunker spot. I mean, Indiana Tech, their ball screen defense is not good here. So get into the lane, draw this defender. Let's get Reed wide open here. But Jared, for some reason, picks up his dribble. And now, again, you will just allow their defense to reset. Now, the other thing that could be happening here is, again, Jason G could do a much better job here sealing. Throw the ball to Cody. Like right now, Jason G should be hard getting into this player's jersey so we can go right down low to you, and you're catching that ball near the charge circle. But he doesn't really seal him off here. See how he's not really sealing him here. He's not really aggressively getting into his jersey and sealing him. So instead of him catching the ball near that charge circle, look where he's catching the ball now. You're letting him push you out of there, and now you're catching the ball a step outside the block, and now this is just a regular post up, and you can see travel and turn it over. This is pretty solid right here, but again, look at Jason G dives hard to this open space. So Cody's going to beat his man here. All right, and draw help. Look at Jason G right here. Okay, you see your man's going to help right now. Don't stand. Okay, right now he should be flying into this charge circle right here. Okay, diving hard. Because look, when Cody turns here, okay, look where he's standing. He's still outside the charge circle. So again, this is good. Cody draws help and drops it to Jason G. But if Jason G's moving inward, right, diving to this open spot right here, okay, look, now we're just dropping to you and it's a layup. But when you stand outside the charge circle like this, now you allow the defense to rotate over and follow you. And again, it's fine. You're going to the line to shoot two. But if Jason G dives aggressively to that open spot, now it's a layup, and then you don't give them the opportunity to follow you, and now you got to make 2 free throws. It's really sloppy ball screen defense. I mean, right here, it looks like you end up switching this. I mean, trying to ice this, Matt's got to get underneath, and Elwood's got to get over the top. If Matt is actually going to switch this, then he's got to be ready to guard. I mean, this screen's getting set. Look, right now, you're just getting in a defensive stance, and you're ready to guard this player coming off this ball screen. But Matt isn't ready to guard. It looks like he goes towards the screener. So this guard's just going to blow by Matt then and get right to the rim, and it's 2 points. So this has to be 2 points. You run an empty side ball screen, beautiful. You pass through, beautiful. But again, Jason G can't be looking to score here. Don't even put the ball on the ground, right? Just catch. You know a backside defender's coming right here. Okay, so now I need to be a playmaker. And Matt's going to be cutting here, all right? And we're either hitting Matt for a layup or he's occupying this defender, and Elwood's wide open for 3. But Jason G's trying to score here, and, you can see what happens. It ends up being foul, and it's a side out of bounds as opposed to being something wide open. So in 2-3 zone, when there's a ball screen in the zone, someone's got to shift, right? Look, ball screen gets set in this zone right here. Okay, so Elwood can come over here and replace, and Jalen can just switch and take his spot in the zone. Jason G can come up, okay, and Spencer can kind of pinch in here, okay, until he's able to come back into that paint area. But someone's got to replace in that area of the zone. I mean, this is just a ball screen when nobody replaces in Jalen's area of the zone when he gets screened. You just allow this player to come off the ball screen and get right into a wide open jump. A great cut. Look at this. Ball's in the post. Indiana Tech comes to double. What does Spencer do? He does not stand at the 3-point line. Sees his man's getting ready to go double, and he immediately cuts. So now look, now you're catching it, and you're getting a wide open layup. Beautiful. And again, there's no reason to stand because look what happens. If Spencer's cut isn't open, it's going to be because right here he's occupying this defender. So now the 3-point line's still available to us. But let's see if we can get something easy at the rim, which is exactly what happens. Layup. This is gap defense in the zone. Let's look at Spencer here. Spencer's positioned well right here. Look at this. Perfect. Back to the baseline, in the gaps defensively. But you don't have to move. Okay, all Spencer's got to do is just jab at this. Jab, recover. But Spencer's going to make this unnecessary move inward right here. Look at this right here. Look at his feet. See how he's taking a half step with both of them inward? That little half step inward right there is the difference between you getting out to the 3-point line in plenty of time and not. See, right now, Spencer does not have to move right now. When this ball handler is coming this way, you can just jab with your body, okay? Stunt and recover. You don't have to move your feet inward at all. You're positioned beautifully back to the baseline and everything. But instead he's going to take this half step with both of his feet inward like that. So now he's never going to have time to get outward. So he's going to get beat with a pump fake, and it's 2. And now look at the difference. Look at Spencer right here. Again, he's in great position, but he doesn't move. See how he doesn't have to take his body inward at all? So now look. Now he's in position, and look, he's back out, okay? And now you clog that driving lane up, and you force a deep contested 3. So right here when the ball gets thrown in the middle here, okay, Elwood's guarding here, Jared's guarding here. When this ball gets thrown to the middle, Jason's got to come out. Look at this. Ball's thrown here. Look, you're out, okay? And I don't know, really, I don't understand. Like, Jason, you got to get out here. You got to trust that Cody's going to take over the paint here. We're not leaving the paint wide open. If a cutter comes this way, Reed's going to make sure the paint isn't cluttered. But Jason does this kind of half thing where he just kind of look at the separation between Jason and the man in the middle of the zone. Again, Elwood's got a guard here, Jared's got a guard here. Cody's doing a good job of occupying the paint here, and he's occupying the paint so that you can go out and guard the middle of the zone. But Jason is so late to get out in the middle of that zone. Look, now by the time he gets out there, he's going to get beat with a pump fake and an and 1. So Reed should not slip this screen. Look at this right here. Get set, let Cody come off it, okay, let him drag this big, and your roll's going to be open. Great spacing here, strong side of the floor is completely empty. But Reed doesn't get set. He's going to try and slip this screen, there's just no reason for that, because just set it so Cody there's no reason to slip it, because let Cody come off it and keep your man out there, and now you have all this space in the world to roll to, okay? And then look, I mean, it's either, open jumper, you draw this backside defender, and Jason G's wide open. Okay, but he slips the screen, doesn't set it. So now look, again, now you're just letting Indiana Tech play everyone one-on-one, okay? And now you're just right back into isolation mode, and you end up with nothing. Okay, so one, you can't ask Jared to guard all the way out here, then sprint back down and guard the middle of the zone. Either Jason's got to then come out and guard the middle of the zone, or Cody's got to come over and guard this area of the zone, and Jared comes back here. But so look, Jared's going to guard all the way out there. Okay, now he's going to come down. Like right now, Jared should probably just get down into this area right now. Okay, but if you want him to guard all the way out here, you can't ask him to do that, then come all the way back down and guard the middle of the zone, because now he's going to get beat. Okay, that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is, let's look at Reed. He's way too glued to the three-point line. You can't hug the three-point line, because we just saw with Spencer. Okay, if you don't have to go inward first with your body, if you don't have to take a half step in, 1 step in, you'll always get out to the three-point line. If all you have to do is just jab without having to move inward and recover, you'll recover in plenty of time. But look at Reed. He's glued to the three-point line, so now he's got to take a half step to a step in with his body first. See how he has to take that half step to a step in to be in the gaps? Now you're never going to recover back out to the three-point line, so you give up a catch-and-shoot 3. So in this 2-3 zone, Jason's got to come out here. Look at this. Jason, you are responsible for this middle of the zone here. You got to make sure you're not getting sealed over here, right there. All right, but look, everyone's doing one thing in the zone, right? One thing, one thing, one thing. But look at this right now. Jason, you got to come out here. Look at how he's sagging off this big. Your area of the zone right here is now right here. I think that might be Cody. He can't guard the middle of the zone. He's got a player right here. Okay? Your area is the zone, and you can see Reed is down here, kind of making sure that the paint isn't left unoccupied. If this player cuts, then Matt's gonna go with him. But you got to get out. You can't sag off like this, because look what happens. You sag off. I mean, look at this. You're not guarding at all. So now you're just letting this player, look at how low you're letting this player get. You're not giving him any resistance until you're at the charge circle. So by then, you've let him get too low, and it just leads to an easy little hook shot. So we just got to stop picking up our dribble here. Look at this. Come off this ball screen. Take this big with you. Open up this roll right here. Okay, and let's see if, it's not an empty side ball screen, but let's see if we can get the lift going here, okay, or a post seal. But as soon as you stop dribbling, look at Cody, it's not even one dribble. As soon as you stop dribbling, as opposed to this big having to stay with you and giving us an opportunity to get a roll here, now this big is able to easily recover, okay, and now we're just right back into one-on-one, and you got to reset the offense. Again, you got to cut hard here. Look at Cody. He's going to blow by his man right here, okay, and it's going to force backside help. You can't stand, though. Look at this. You see, like right now, your man is in backside help, and you're seeing that because it's ball you man on offense like defense. You're seeing that your man's in help. Don't stand. Dive hard to this open space. Get inside the charge circle and call for the ball. So now Cody knows, oh, this is where the opening is. But you can see you just stand here. You don't make it as easy as possible for Cody to hit you by diving hard here. Now we can't hit you for an easy layup, and Cody's going to end up hitting Jason instead. And now instead of it being a layup, it's a mid-range jumper, and you get nothing. So this is beautiful right here, but you just end up traveling. I mean, look, you force the hedge, pass through. Now Reed just catch, and Jason G, whose man steps up and backside help, okay, is wide open. But Reed ends up sliding his feet, but you can see how open this play is, and it would have been a two-shot foul. So the execution was good. You just dragged your feet a little bit there. You can't be late here if you're jamming the screener here. Looks like that's the defensive plan here. So again, Matt can't be sagging here. You got to get up. You got to jam the screener here. Because look at how much easier. If you jam the screener, now I think that's Jared, is going to have such an easier time getting on the other side. When you're late to jam the screener, the route Jared has to take to go under is much more difficult, and it leads to a layup. Again, great execution here. Cody comes off the ball screen, nice pocket pass through. But again, the one quibble I have here is this is dangerous, right? Look at Jared. Don't stand, cut, and that Jason can just catch and drop to you for an easy layup. So Jason ends up getting an and one out of this, but that's dangerous. We've seen that be called a charge before. I think it was because he was in the charge circle. But why? But Jared's you gotta cut here. You can't stand. It should be catch right here to a layup. But nice pocket pass through, and you end up getting an and one out of it. So you want to look in here. This is available every single time. Look you run this ball screen. Jason G is gonna have an easy post seal opportunity. Look, you hit Matt. Matt's got to catch, and look at this. This is there every time. Jason G's doing a great job of sealing, just over the top, and it's an easy two. But Matt isn't looking in. He's going to try and make a play, and now you lose that advantage, and you miss that opportunity.